So, we have to talk about something serious here. It's cheating, right? Let's pretend that I'm your partner. I'm about to drop a bombshell. Obviously, you know where it's going. Cheating, right? And so, now that was just kind of a joking way to get into the video or whatever, but like, I want to start talking about, a new thing into the segment or whatever. I am not being very lucky right now. I threw that towel and it literally landed on top of the circuit box where there's like some things plugged in here inside my desk. And also another interesting sidebar before we talk about cheating and what kind of cheating and why I opened with the video like that. I think that blue milk at Walmart is disgusting. I don't think in the past 3 weeks that I've seen blue milk for sale at Walmart. Guess how many people have bought it? 0. Now, I'm not standing at Walmart all day auditing, the blue milk sales, but it was such a big deal, and it was on my mind that, I had to bring it up, right? So if you if are near a Walmart and you go into the Walmart or whatever, and you find an entire aisle dedicated to blue milk, you are not dreaming. That is real life, and it is kind of pathetic. Who is going to buy blue milk? I mean, it is beyond sketch, right? I don't want to know how they made the milk blue. I don't care how they made the milk blue, and I am definitely not ever going to buy blue milk. Even if Star Wars, yes, and this is true, is on the packaging. They're killing Star Wars. Nobody in the Star Wars universe drinks blue milk. Nobody in the known, observable, current universe that we see drinks blue milk. Anyways, so let's talk about cheating, right? That blue milk story is so true. I really, really encourage you to look into that. Anyways, I don't know if it's more sad that it's true than not, but anyways, okay, so cheating. I want to talk about academic cheating and specifically ChatGPT, right? And so there's a lot of current discussion about the future of education, as it would be, right? And the learning curve involved and the introduction of new material and all of these things. But the point of everything is that with the introduction of ChatGPT, children can do their homework relatively easy. Way easier than, and I want to bring this up, Spark Notes or Cliff Notes could have ever done, but maybe not. And so I want to talk more about how I think it's weird when something becomes, available to everybody instead of just a few people. Then only it's sort of a topic of discussion, but yet even when it was only just a few people, we never go back and talk about those things, right? So point in fact, we never talk about how many potential scams and cheats there are from probably upper middle class and high class families as it concerns their education and how they may have in fact cheated with no recourse and no ever way to prove whether or not that has occurred, right? So if you were lucky enough, which we all know, again, unfortunately, in our current modern society where systemic and institutional racism has permeated all of public policy and all of the functionality of how we perceive our world to be and interact with it, then we know that there were people cheating then just as much as there are people cheating now. Again, the biggest difference being that the people who cheated 40, 50 years ago on, in post-secondary or whatever, and then went on to have whole careers, never knowing or never telling or never discussing or never disseminating that they were at all at any point ever in fact cheaters, or if they did, there was no real ever accountability for their actions. And so I grew up, and when I was in school, rich kids or whatever would just buy Spark Notes or they would go get Cliff Notes, right? Literally, this was you could buy hardback copies of entire novels that you were reading and stuff. And so to say cheating didn't already occur before ChatGPT, I'd say is inherently false. And in fact, furthermore, I'd say that the people who did cheat, right, were probably going to be the people with more resources than anybody else. And that's the other thing too with cheating is oftentimes the people that cheat are the ones who have it all to begin with anyway, regardless, right? And I would say this about education too, in terms of only now when it's just easy for everybody, for every child to hop on some rando phone and get some app downloaded so that they get their homework done in literally seconds, right? So it's good that we talk about this. Cheating is not good at all. Like, again, I am a staunch advocate for pure competition, knowing that a part of pure competition recognizes that I got to compete with people who are going to cheat. I get that. I understand that. But it's because I understand and I get that I'm able to prepare and defend myself against cheaters, essentially, right? Because anytime anybody has any incentive to do anything or lack thereof, there will be cheaters, always, all the time. And so I'm not sure, again, if ChatGPT is so much more a way of like cheating than it is to maybe acknowledge that it exists, utilize it as a tool, and discuss what that tool is then helping you to learn, because we know that it's not going to go away, and we know that it's better to teach our youngins about being responsible with the things that they encounter in life, and whether that's a piece of technology or talking to a human being, we should, right, mandate and require that we're at least halfway decent to one another in that exchange, right? And so at the end of the day, I guess it doesn't really even matter about like the whole cheating concept so much as it matters the discussing of such, and working to figure out how to um, incorporate some of these new kinds of learning skills instead of utilizing them to cheat, right? Because it's a conflict of interest. And I am just as much concerned about secondary school children cheating on arithmetic homework as much as I'm concerned with people doing dissertations and thesis statements on a doctoral level who are in fact utilizing the same kind of technology that secondary children are, only now its stakes are bigger, and who knows how that person got there to begin with, and all of this time of systemic and institutional racism. And is it weird to question that kind of stuff, that like, sociologically speaking, people that have had everything all the time have had the first privileges of experience these new kind of things, right? So cheating 40 and 50 years ago, again, even though I can't prove it and it's all speculation, I can absolutely, without unequivocal doubt, say that people were cheating then too. Only it was like so low key and accepted in that way because the environment was so inclusive of discriminatory practices that they still continue on to today. And anyways, obviously I'm not a fan of cheating, right? And that's kind of the thing. So if you want to use ChatGPT to cheat, then I would say that's just as well as using an online dating site to cheat. You can accomplish the same thing without having to go online and ruin somebody's like experience about everything because you want something, in terms of that kind of selfishness. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about.